Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Stay here, and I'm back with a brand new video. Today, guys, we're going to be doing Apex Legends Season 21 Best Legends Tier List. If you enjoy it, like, comment, subscribe. Without further ado, let's get straight into this. Today, I am joined by the man himself, Cryptic. How are we doing, Cryptic?
Doing good, mate. How are you?
That was a bit of a pause. Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. You excited to get your first time on the tier lists?
Yes, lad. I'm very excited. I'm very happy that I got the invite. So thank you very much.
That's all right. So yeah, we're going to go through straight into it to make our decisions where we believe the legends will be. First off, we are going to start with Ash. So Cryptic, have you been playing much Ash this season?
No, I haven't. Just because of the fact that her abilities, in my opinion, don't make her as strong as she should be.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, that her portal range is still not that far. Like it's still not good to play her.
No. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, she hasn't really changed a lot, has she? She's
Yeah,
still a bit samey. She needs a little bit more loving, to be
she
honest.
needs to. Yeah.
Uh,
Like I would say on the level 3 perks, her Arc Snares, like she's just getting her buff there on the Arc Snares.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like the arc snares still are not that quite reliable, I would say,
Yeah.
because they like really need to shoot the person low to then feather them, and then
Mm-hmm.
you as well have to have a nade if you want to like easily kill them.
Yeah. It's a nice idea that they've chucked the snare onto the other hand,
Yeah,
which is a good idea, but it's just not really enough.
no, it's not.
Now I can't remember where I put her last season, so this is a little bit of free ball.
I would put a maybe E or F tier to be honest,
E
because like
or
she has.
F?
What would you put her? I would say
Uh,
E because of the fact that she still is not that reliable or good as a legend itself. Like
true.
her passive is good, but still.
I was looking between D and E. So
Okay.
if we're both looking at E, then maybe we should go with E then.
We can put a top E maybe.
Yeah, let's put a E for
Yeah.
now. And then if we want to touch back on it, we can do. But I do agree there's not a lot I mean, she's a cool legend. I like her abilities, but I'm never going to be picking her for ranked. I'm never going to be picking her for
Yeah.
comp.
Yeah.
You just play for a bit of pubs now and then, but she's not a standout legend at the end of the day.
I
So
agree. I agree.
next up, we're going to move into Ballistic. Now, Ballistic for myself, I don't really enjoy Ballistic. Now, I haven't actually touched him this season because I know there has been some changes to him. Have you had a go on him?
No.
No, I know for a fact Rotide was a very buzzing about the changes that had came to Ballistic, but I don't feel there has been anything stand out for me to actually jump on him.
Yeah.
The fact I've hardly seen him as well makes me believe that the changes realistically haven't actually been much better. It was only the upgrades at the end of the day, wasn't it? I don't think there's
Yeah.
any changes to his actual style or anything like that.
I
So
agree.
I don't think there's going to be much of a change. I know a lot of people really enjoy him in solos, and that's a cool idea, you know. Lets a legend shine in a different light. But I don't know about yourself, but I've not seen any
Well,
ballistics.
I agree with you. Like he is a very good character for 1v1s, especially with his ultimate and the sling weapon,
Hmm.
in my opinion. But I feel like overall, like he has no good movement, if you know what I mean, or he's like really easily killable because he has like no escape abilities.
Yeah.
And his whistle as well, like he was really good at the beginning when he was released, in my opinion.
Hmm.
But nerfing the whistle itself with not with the smart pistol, not tracking them in that big range, just made him like it didn't made him like perfectly as he was at the beginning. And his upgrades now itself are not like that good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not enough for me to want to change where I had him last season. I
Yeah,
had him slotted down in E. I know that for a fact.
yeah. I would maybe hmm.
I think, don't get me wrong, I do think he obviously shines a bit more in solos, but when solos is gone in about 5 weeks, whatever it is, 4 weeks, it's just going to be back to ballistic. And I don't
Yeah,
really feel I can justify bumping him up any more this season than I did last.
I agree.
So I know it looks weird that fact we've got two in E potentially at the beginning, but obviously we know for a fact it's going to spread out very quickly anyway.
Yeah,
So are you happy with E as well?
I would be happy with me as well. Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Cool. Next up, we've got Bangalore. Go for it, bro. What do you
Bangalore.
think of Bangalore?
Bangalore is still for me personally, still an S tier. Like her smoke, like the smoke nerf didn't really affect her itself because of a -5 second upgrade itself on level 1.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, the smokes actually got thicker, if you know what I mean. Like you
Yeah.
can't look through it that easily as you did before, which is
Mm-hmm.
basically a buff in my opinion. A
Yeah.
Bangold still feels, for me, still feels the same as before with the stun duration and the explode radius. So I, especially with the current Bloodhound meta, Bloodhound being so good, I feel like she's definitely an S tier in any mode, like in pubs, to get a great escape, for example, if you're low with her passive and the smoke itself. So I would put her S tier.
I would definitely agree. I don't see any change in her. You know, the fact that, like we've mentioned there, you know, you can use her pubs, you can use her rank, you can use her comp. The removal of digi threats as well this season's a blessing for her because the only way you can really counteract that is with Bloodhound.
Yeah,
So it's obviously going to help her. And it's going to make her more viable in those situations where maybe you want to smoke and use it as a rotation, and there is no Bloodhounds around to scan. You get that basically that free get out of jail free card, you know, out of the way. So
yeah.
I 100% agree. I don't think that Bangalore has gone down. I think she still solidifies herself up in that S tier mark. Now we're moving on and we're moving straight into Bloodhound, and I think we will probably both be agreeing on this one, but I am putting Bloodhound straight away in S.
Yeah. He's a really good legend. He's like the best recon legend in the game at the moment. Especially with his
So
Wide
good.
Raven and his ultimate as well, like having the extend timer. I think people don't really realize that the current upgrade that he has, or that got added to him with the new patch, of him getting like more time on his ult when he knocks somebody,
Yeah,
is, is a better time giving, or it gives you more time than it was before the nerf, I would say.
yeah.
So he's, in my opinion, he got better in that
Mm-hmm.
aspect.
Yeah, no, he's definitely like I say. You've only just got to look at ALGS. Like it was
Yeah,
100%. Every single team had a Bloodhound,
yeah,
and that just shows you how viable and needed Bloodhound is in teams for comp. Obviously, ranked we know full well as well. You know, if you're running a Bloodhound, you're so like it's so beneficial. Once again, going back to obviously the smokes, no digi threats this season is so helpful, and of course, you know it's very fun legend to be playing in pubs. You know, whack that ultimate on, go nuts, go nutty.
yeah.
So I can't see anything lower than S. It has to be an S for me as well. So yeah, hands down. Next up, we're going to go Catalyst. Now, Catalyst has had some changes this season to her upgrades. What do we feel about the upgrade changes?
Yeah, she didn't just got upgrades on her upgrades itself, but she got buffs on her pass, or like her normal kit as well. Like her spikes, the duration or the of the spikes when you can get them back is reduced by 5 seconds. It was 25 seconds before, and it's now 20,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it which makes her way better. And her wall as well got a buff again. It's 45 meters now from the base without the upgrade
Yeah.
that she gets. And as well, like how the devs designed the upgrades now, that you can have one side of upgrades on the wall itself and on the left one just to defend in the building, with having this more charges of spikes and just reinforcing or rebuilding the doors itself. I
Mm-hmm.
think it straight away shows that she definitely got a buff, and I feel like she should be an S tier at the moment, especially if you look at like comp or ranked itself,
An S tier.
or
That's a.
high A tier. High
I
A
was
tier.
going to say that's a statement. That is chucking us straight into
She
S.
is really good again. Like she's really good
Don't
again.
get me wrong. Yeah, they
I don't
definitely.
I don't I don't feel like she's going to be played that much in ranked.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the fact like ranked and pubs are more of a aggressive play style if you want to do that now,
Yes.
especially with the ranked system at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, as you said, she should be high A tier because she's only really, really shining in comp.
Yeah. I do think, like you say, she's obviously now a very, very like she was always good legend to hold down a
Yeah,
building, but she's now even more like it's a probably the best legend in aspects of things to actually hold down a building and stop pushes.
yeah,
Obviously, a slightly different style to things like Watson and Caustic, because obviously Caustic you almost to say you can always cover up a few doors, whereas with this obviously changes. You can put spikes obviously down, and then you can barricade those doors as well. You can lock down a very big building with a catalyst that you can't
yeah.
do with those other legends. Like you said, mentioned there, I do agree. The fact that the reason why we haven't seen much of Catalyst in general playstyle is because everyone is so kill hungry and ranked, and of course, pubs. And that is why we've only mainly seen her in comp. But I do agree in the fact that I do think she needs to be higher than what she was before. I think with the changes that she's now got, I would probably put her. Uh, I'd probably say a high B, but I will go with you on an A.
Yeah, I would say A as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we could chuck her in S, but I do think she's definitely gone in the right path that she was lacking before. Next up, we've got Caustic. Now, I put Caustic last season in S tier. I don't know what your thoughts are on Caustic.
I don't think he's an S tier any longer. Like he's good, but I feel like he's an A tier as well, or at least end of S tier, because it's like gas damage is got like nerfed, I would say.
Yeah, it's got a slight
Because
enough.
yeah, it's now starting at 4 and it can only go up to 10,
Mm-hmm.
and it does only 4 damage on knock people and not further of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just put him, maybe I would put him in A tier, but his kit itself or the upgrades itself are still strong. They make them one of the strongest characters, especially for area control,
Yeah.
for how big as it can be.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree on the fact that obviously he has been nerfed. Um, and of course, at the end of the day, he has obviously also got a very large hitbox, which
Yeah,
is obviously going to be a negative effect. And that's obviously where someone like Catalyst would shine in a different light. He obviously still does have that aggression, which obviously a lot of other legends don't have for a defensive legend that can hold down buildings.
yeah,
But I do think the hitbox lets him down a little bit, and that small nerf is obviously a nerf still at the end of the day, which could be the difference to actually knock him down a little bit. So I'll agree. I'll agree. I think we move him down to S. Sorry, A. Sorry, I do
yeah.
think that the changes. He doesn't probably deserve an S anymore than he used to. Next up, we have Conduit. So Conduit. I enjoy Conduit a lot. I think she's a really fun, unique legend that
Yeah.
obviously when she first came out, annoying as hell. Last season, she was, still a nuisance, but not obviously as annoying as she has been. They have done a few changes to her, but nothing to outstand and make her shine again in a different light. I don't know about you, but I think she's still.
Yeah. I feel like her role as I feel like in my opinion she's one of the best support legends in the game. Just because of the fact that she literally can deny and push entries by using the her Q, or he can or she can support pushes with her Q itself,
Mhm.
especially in ranked as well, which makes her an amazing character. And then looking at her ult as well, like she can deny a whole area.
Yeah, no, I do
Um,
agree.
as we all know, the Rev Conduit combo, but that's not working any longer because of her getting nerfed and not be able to Q Revenant when he's in his ult.
Hmm.
I would now put her maybe in a B tier or in an A tier.
Yeah, so I had her in B tier last one, or I might have even had her in A.
She's
She's
she's still good. She's
yeah,
still good. She's like not shit, but she's very good still, in my opinion.
she is. She is. I do think she is really good. I mean, the fact that once again it is a legend that can be played in all game modes, pubs, ranked, and comp because
Yeah,
every single team that was taking a contest we saw at LAN, they were all running a conduit because they needed that extra shield. And of
yeah,
course, in this season, as we mentioned earlier, so kill hungry, she is so useful for having that person to give you that extra shield, especially in those early fights when you've only got whites. So,
especially on contests and stuff. For example, like she
mm,
was used on every contest.
yeah, exactly. So she's so viable in those sort of
Yeah,
situations and gives you just that second life, second chance.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I'm looking at either the B or the A.
I would put her A still.
We'll go with A.
I would put her where she was before.
Yeah, I do agree. Okay, next up we are moving into Crypto. Now I know Crypto is a lover of Crypto. What do you
Yeah.
think of him now?
Um, I haven't really played him that much, but I feel like he definitely is not like one of the bad legends anymore.
Hmm.
What makes me a little bit sad is that with the new upgrades, his Q itself got louder. So it's much louder if you pull out the drone. itself.
Hmm.
But him having the passive and just seeing the banners itself and then pinging on and telling his teammates that there's enemy squads nearby is really good.
Hmm.
It makes him like on that side it puts him even with Bloodhound with his bird, for example,
Hmm.
I would say.
Yeah.
Um in his upgrades itself they got a huge buff in my opinion. But still I wouldn't put him that high because you still need to be on the drone
Yes.
to scan them actually. And you need to be like a anchor that's what you call in comp that
Hmm.
plays on the backside and watches over the team
Yeah.
and can't get into the fight straight away. So you need to be like an aggressive crypto player to really play him good in pubs and ranked, for example.
Hmm.
But in comp, he's good because he can just scout the area around the building or around the place you sit with him, which makes him a good hero legend itself. And his ult as well is good for pushes, etc.
Yeah.
Or to just annoy people and farm shields with it. So I would put him into a C or BT in my opinion.
Yeah, I was looking around C or B. I think it's just a shame that obviously you're so stationary with crypto,
Yeah,
but I do agree the perks that obviously he's gained and just the buffs in general. He's definitely shining more than he used to. He used to be a really bad legend, and they have
yeah.
done a lot more to make him more viable. And it is nice seeing him now and then, start creeping up in things like comp. Um, I feel like I would probably give him a C. I don't know if you happy with that.
Yeah, I would say as well, yeah.
Yeah,
I would say high C.
yeah. That's what I would say. Like if it was a C plus, I would give him a C plus.
Yeah.
Next up, we're going into Fuse. Now, I really enjoy Fuse. Fuse had a few changes, nothing too major. Really fun legend to play though. Like genuinely,
Yeah.
like love playing Fuse. Great for poke. If you want a high damage
He's
game.
I feel like I agree with you on the poke stuff. Like he's the best poking legend in comp at the moment.
Hmm.
Especially with him getting the new perk of him being able to scan ring beacons.
Yes.
Which is insane for an assault character in my opinion.
Hmm.
And his knuckle clusters itself, they are so huge for damage farming. And like yeah, he's overall a really good legend for comp, and maybe he's a fun legend for pubs as well if you want to annoy people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'll put him in a C or BT as well.
Yeah, no, I'd agree in that aspect of things. Yeah, I do think he is, say, a lot more fun. Yeah, and it is cool that he does get now used in, say, the things like comp. I mean, he always has, and he always probably will, with, say, that
Yeah,
annoyance of the poke. The ultimate, which is so good at stopping pushes or even starting a push.
yeah,
I really enjoy him, and like you mentioned there, the ring console has now made it more viable for those things like comp. Obviously, if ranked was sweaty and actually about placements, then that would even be a more of a positive on that. But of course, we all know what ranked is this season, and it is all about
yeah,
just kills. But Fuse can bring that as an assault legend. So
definitely.
I think B.
I would say B, yeah, but bottom B in that
Bottom
case.
B, yeah. I just think, yeah, that the aspects of things that he can bring to the game, just with the ring console as well, that's definitely
Yeah,
good to see. Next up, we're moving into Gibraltar. Now, Gibby is a good legend if you're good with large characters.
yeah.
I
And
don't
if you
really enjoy
play
legend,
shotgun as well, like you need to play shotgun with Gibby just
of
for those
course.
bubble fights.
Course. And of course, Shotgun is starting to become a bit more of meta this season as
Yeah,
well, which obviously works in Gibby's favour. But I just don't get on with Gibby. I'm not used to that sort of chunky movement. Don't get me wrong. That's obviously just my personal skill issue, but I can't get on with it.
yeah. I agree. I agree.
It's
Yeah, but it's hard because I miss the times when Gibby was good. For example, when he had that fast heal or that 20% more faster heal in his bubble
mhm,
or his faster revive. I feel like they should make that as a perk for him as well
yeah,
because like auto reload shotgun on Nox is one of his perks, and I don't really see that on Gibby itself
hmm,
because you like really need to have a person aping you. And if there's a free man aping you, it's quite hard to kill one of them if
yeah,
you have two teammates on you, for example, or if you get free man aped. And the fact as well is that nowadays the Gibby bubble is more of an escape,
yeah,
get out key, as you said before with Bangalore,
Hmm.
and him being such a big hitbox as well makes him like not a good legend to move around with. So I would
Hmm.
put him in C or even D tier, sadly, at the moment.
Yeah, I do like the changes that have come with him and all that. I do like to say the upgrades have been really nice to him. But I do think with the size of his hitbox, especially with how ranked and things like that are being played, you don't really want to be taking big boy, especially on rotations and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree with C. I do think he's still a fun legend and he's good, but I just don't think. I think other legends can do more than what he can provide.
Yeah.
That's more my thoughts. Moving forward, we now have Horizon. Now, Horizon is honestly a great legend. I haven't been saying anyway, I think she is the best legend for solos. I really do,
Yeah.
with her get out of freeze every single time, straight up into the sky with obviously the Q, the movement. And she just genuinely feels incredible in that game mode. And of course, she is still fucking amazing for ranked and comp.
Yeah.
What's your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I agree. I agree on that part, on everything you said. Like her kit in general is just so good to get up buildings and stuff, or just get out, as you said. And her ult as well is too good. It's really good to cover areas and stuff. But I
Mhm.
feel like on the upgrade side, like she really got nerfed on those upgrades compared to other legends in that aspect. For
Yes.
example, like she has to have level 3 like purple shields to even get a buff on her abilities. For
Hmm.
example, 5 seconds on her Q or the 30 seconds reduced cooldown on her ult,
Hmm.
which make her a legend that needs to play aggressive to get to level 3 to actually have a benefit for herself as a legend.
Uh-huh.
But still, her movability with the passive is just insane. Like
Hmm.
she's the best moving legend in my opinion, movement legends beside Octane.
Yeah.
So, but like I would put her in a B tier or even A tier.
We put her in S tier last time. Now, I don't get me wrong, I do think she is incredible, and I do think I personally would put her in a high A
Yeah,
because I feel like I almost want to keep the S tier section as ones that I really think are required in a team and are like say really needed in a team. And I love Horizon, but I don't think she's necessarily needed in teams anymore like she used to be.
yeah, I agree.
Which is why I think I would move her to an A. I personally say like an A plus.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't think she's necessarily needed like she used to be. Everyone used to have a Horizon, didn't they? Like she was the
yeah,
go-to. I don't think she's an necessity anymore.
yeah. I agree.
Awesome. Okay, right. Next up, we've got Lifeline. You go for it first.
Straight up S tier.
Yeah.
Like she is so broken at the moment. Her kid is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
She if you play aggressive or you want to play aggressive, she's the best legend to play. If she stays up the longest, especially with her perks of the rapid like the fast revive where you have 20% increased speed on
Mm-hmm.
revives, and then her drone having a 25-second reduced cooldown, which means you have your drone in every 8 seconds, or when your drone is depleting, you have it straight away.
Mm-hmm.
And then her care pack as well on level 3 is just a free red shield basically for any team members, which is insane. And then a free gold knock or res. So
Yeah.
I would definitely put her in S tier.
Yeah, I do. I think since we started seeing her being used in, don't get me wrong, she was used a lot last season as well. But I
Yeah,
do think when we saw her getting brought into the LAN aspect of things, and people were probably seeing the way Hard Decky can use her,
yeah,
I think that has shown a new light to Lifeline, which has made people want to use her a lot more.
yeah,
Which is why I do agree in the fact that now we're seeing her a lot more, and now we're noticing how people are using the upgrades available. And of
yeah,
course we had obviously the a lot of people always used to take the self revive over like the power weapons, and
yeah,
of course now we've had this change. Everyone's taking, like you say, the Evo canister, and of course the gold knock, gold bag. Like you're kitted as fuck if you're like
yeah,
needing it. like gold res on Lifeline every single time is just a W. So
Yeah, it is. It is.
I do think she deserves the S tier. Yes, I do. Cool. Right. Loba, the sexy, sexy Loba. Now, I like Loba. I think she's fun. I think she's
She
cool.
is really fun. She's a really good support legend, especially with her abilities and like her Q getting buffs as well with her upgrades itself,
Mm-hmm.
which makes her a good escape legend as well in that aspect.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's like the best legend if you are not good on loot to get loot in that aspect.
Yes. Yeah. I think she's definitely like some lower tier legend, sorry, lower tier players per se,
Yeah.
would really appreciate a Loba because when they are struggling for loot or in those end game fights, maybe they've not allocated their loot properly. Potentially, maybe they've taken not enough ammo and prioritized heals or something like that. And then rather than being in those situations near the end game where they're going, oh no, I've got no ammo, of course they know they can stock up on the ammo when they're poking as well. Of course, I do find that she, apart from the Loba shop, she doesn't bring much else to the team. That's the only other thing.
Yeah, I would hence why put her in B or C tier in my opinion.
Yeah, I personally am looking more at C.
Yeah.
I don't think I could put her in B. I think I put her in D last time, and I think it might have been a little bit hard.
Gosh,
But I don't think she's a B. I think she's got to be a C, if anything.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I have to say, we're just because we're never going to. We don't see her at all actually in comp at the moment. So, but obviously we used to back in the day. So I will always keep that into my mind. Next up, we've got the lovely Maggie. What's your thoughts on Maggie?
I think she's, in my opinion, one of the most underrated legends in the game at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just because I feel like maybe as well because of the current meta itself.
Right.
With the Blood and Bang, because I feel like Maggie is one of those legends that's forcing the enemies to reposition if they're low, for example, with a Maggie drill and her Maggie ball as well. Now going through them if she has the level 2 upgrade with the Flames one.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty sick in my opinion, as we have said last time.
Yeah.
So I would put it in my opinion for now, I would put it in a C or even B tier.
I'm looking at B. Yeah, I think regarding like the poke aspect of things, I do think Fuse can just poke more because obviously he's got continuous in it. His cooldown's lower. But the Maggie upgrades and the fact that we can get 2 drills or we can get a bigger drill, it really pins in those teams that are trying to hold a position and just causes more of a nuisance than sometimes a knuckle cluster would do. I do think the ultimate with obviously the upgrades again, making it obviously like the ball can go on fire is kind of nutty, can be really helpful for a push, put off teams with the Thermite even if they push through it. So I really think she's a cool legend for it. And of course as well, this season, we mentioned earlier as well, shotguns are in more of a meta. And of course, Maggie gets the normal speed boost with a shotgun. So automatically, she's almost got a little buff, even though it's not actually intentional at all, because it's just everyone getting it. But she benefits really well from it. So I think she's in a B.
If for example, if you look at the aspect of the hammer point Mozam, like she's insane for taking 1v1s in that aspect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
especially in solos.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, exactly. No, I definitely think B.
Yeah,
amazing. Okay, cool. Right, we're going in. Next up, we have Mirage. Now, I am not the biggest fan of Mirage.
He's more of a fun legend. He's more of a fun legend. Like if you want to bamboozle people, or just mess around with them.
Yeah, I don't think he brings a lot to the actual game. I have a few friends that play him in ranked and things like that, and as much as people are like, oh yeah, when you get res you come back invisible, most people can predict where you're going and they can still knock you again. I don't find it's that beneficial. I don't get me wrong, like you say, fun aspect of things, great legend to play, so much fun, but I don't actually know if we've ever seen a Mirage in comp. I don't think I've ever seen.
Maybe a mispick, but I don't feel like that.
No.
He's not that viable. Like as I said, he's just a pop legend to have fun with.
Yeah, which and then of course they say he's not really a ranked legend. He's not going to clutch up for you in those mad situations. He is just more or less for the casual players that want to have a bit of fun.
Yeah, I agree. So
Um,
I would put him in D or C tier.
oh, oh, I feel
What,
like I, I was
what
looking
tell
at
it?
maybe
Say
yeah.
it. Say,
Hmm?
say it. Say it.
I was thinking potentially E, to be
Ooh.
honest, E or
Okay.
D. Maybe we go with D because D.
Yeah, I would say D then as well.
Let's go with D. Um, I'm sorry to the ballistic and
Rashmans, I'm sorry.
Ashmanes. I just think if I was to have one of them on my team, I mean, to be fair, if you got a
He
goal
needs to
knock on a
be good with
Mirage,
the bamboozles. He needs to be good with the bamboozles
yeah, it's
and knowing when to arrest somebody, for example.
yeah. I mean, that you say the upgrades and on the Mirage, and of course the just the play style of Mirage, it can be beneficial in team fights, and it can be
Yeah.
beneficial for say oh god, I can't even think what I was going to say now. But yeah, so yeah, I just think he could be more clutch up for a situation than as a team player, sorry, rather than the ones below
Yeah, I
potentially.
agree.
It's a hard one to be honest. I mean, I was looking at maybe E as well, but I'll go with D.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we are gonna go for Newcastle. So Newcastle's had some changes this season. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I would say Newcastle definitely compared to last season is definitely better, in my
Hmm.
opinion. Especially with his mobile shield being faster, like as a normal thing.
Yeah.
And as well, his wall or his ultimate now being like a Watson gen, which
Yeah.
is especially really good if you put it down, for example, if you get bang ulted or even fuse ulted, or
Mm,
even just made it itself,
yeah.
so that you can just focus on rezzing your teammate that you just went to faster, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
So I would definitely put him higher than last time or last time you rated him.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I say that he's had buffs at the end of the day, so you know you can't ignore it. He was a
Yeah,
great legend before, and I think don't get me wrong, I like the changes they've done. I don't know whether they were necessarily needed, but it is
yeah,
actually a very cool thing what they've done, and I really think yeah, this has bumped him up a little bit. I
yeah,
played Newcastle this season. I've really enjoyed him, and it's definitely a legend that I think people will be picking up more.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I would look at A.
yeah. I would say A as well.
Yeah, I
Especially with
definitely.
his level 3 upgrade on the fucking wall, where he
Definitely.
has extended energized barrier duration to 3 minutes, which is
Mm,
absolutely insane. It's a lot of time.
definitely. Next up, we have Octane. Now, Octane has had a few changes in the upgrades, but is it enough to make him a better legend?
I would say he stays as he is right now because honestly, there's like not really anything like how do I say this?
It's not.
Like taking away the upgrade of his stim damage itself. It's not like nah. I wouldn't say it's good if you know what I mean.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
so
if do you know how much damage he took from the stim itself? Because I'm just looking at the patch notes here, and it was 25% before, and now it's just
I,
five
yeah,
five damage less. Hmm. I
yes.
don't know, but I didn't feel like any changes happened to him in the aspect that made him better.
No, the one thing they have done is they've moved obviously the jump pads into different positions,
Yeah,
which I mean it's kind of cool. I mean the fact I think most people would always take the two jump pads and when it used to be before with the upgrades because the change
yeah,
of direction was like it was a cool idea, but you're gonna get way more jump pads. So putting them
yeah,
on different tiers has obviously worked better.
yeah,
Of course, then obviously you now have to make this decision of whether you take five less damage or so on with the Octane stems. But I don't think, like we say, going over those changes, I don't think it's anything to make him any better or worse, to be honest. I mean, it just, Octane just net doesn't really do it for me. Fun
yeah.
legend, like we mentioned with Mirage, but doesn't really do anything for me.
I would put him C tier or even B.
Oh, gosh, you're so generous all of a sudden.
No, I don't know. Like I just
I
feel like
think I think he's down to D personally.
like if you are good with him, you can have a lot of fun and be a lot skilled in pubs or ranked. But he's
Yeah,
definitely not a comp character.
No,
Never.
no. But I think that could be the same argument for Mirage. That's
Yeah, but no.
that's
Yeah,
why
I
I
think
feel like
Octane is more played than Mirage. Let's be honest here, and Octane is good for rotations if the enemies don't have aim in the air, of course,
yeah, I was going to
and
say
he's good for escaping as well. So I would put in either C, like lower C, or high D tier.
I just don't think there's many. I would say high D tier personally.
Okay.
I just think most octanes that you play with are brain dead.
Yeah.
And I just think, like you mentioned there, if it's good for escapes unless people have aim, and I think most people in this game have aim now. If you see
Yeah.
someone jumping away on a jump pad, especially an octane that's probably stemmed before jumping on the jump pad, it's not a lot to do damage wise to finish them off. So I just don't think he's a viable pick at all anymore. I really don't. So that's why I would whack him down, like saying D. Fun legend though, fun legend. Okay, fun legend.
Yeah,
Moving forward into a fun legend that I love, we're going into Pathfinder.
yeah.
What's your thoughts
I
on
would
Pathfinder?
say I would say he's A tier in my opinion. Like his skill is still strong. He's one of the fastest legends in the game, especially with his zip line. And this as well, taking less damage on the zip line, that perk is just so good for rotations and stuff. So I would put him in A tier.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the zip lines then a lot. I think beforehand it used to be very much a case of as soon as it came to that tier, everyone was like, yeah, I'm taking the knocked down and away one every single time. But now the zip line Zen is really, really good for rotations. I did it the other day, was wide in the open, but I was like, we're getting 50% less damage. So unless all three of them are going to actually one clip us, there's no way we're getting knocked off of it. And lo and behold, they only managed to knock off the shields, which is just mega.
Yeah, I agree.
But of course, he does still have this ginormous freaking hitbox. He is a fridge, which
Yeah,
I do
I
think
agree.
needs to be put in the mix as well. I personally would say more of a high B. I just think that don't get me wrong. I see what you're saying about rotations and things like that. But I look at what's in A, and then I think to myself, oh, is Parthy definitely needed an A? I don't know.
I feel like for a ranked team and a pubs team, like in general, he's just good, but like he's not being really used in comp yet. But
I,
I feel like he's high B or lower A in that aspect. So I would maybe agree with you on B for now.
I mean, we go B. I just not that you say A is getting a little bit crowded up there, but no. But I do generally just think that I love Pathfinder,
Yeah.
and I think he is great for things like ranked and all that. But I do think his hitbox screws him a lot because
Yeah.
even though when we do get to it, Revenant probably a very similar hitbox in a way, but I feel like I always take so much more damage as Pathfinder than I do as Revenant.
I feel like Revenant's hitbox got slimmer with his new upgrade, I would say. Like with his
Yeah, I feel
new
like
self.
that would probably be a good thing to do to Revenant. Make the
Yeah.
hitbox the same as Pathfinder. Then it would almost be a little bit say like, okay, now it makes sense. But anyway, we'll touch on that when we get to Revenant. Let's go Rampart, Rampy
Yeah,
Ramp.
Rampart has seen a lot of like use and comp, especially in an NA, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
With the famous person Trefstack is his name, which he is using Rampart and comp.
Mm-hmm.
Especially itself, her upgrades at the moment are just insane with the, for example, readout faster behind amped cover, like the her Q, or just her ult having a bit better charge up and reduce cooldown, which makes her really good for comp, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But with the current meta, I don't feel like she's like that good of a legend itself. And she's not being used in ranked or pubs itself that much because she's more of I hold this place down, I'm waiting till end zone, and that's all I do with this character in that aspect.
Yes, yeah.
So I'd put her in a C or B tier, or even D.
Yeah, I think it's a shame Rampart doesn't get more love,
Yeah,
but with the way that the casuals were playing, the ranked players and all that, she is just not gonna get her moment to shine.
yeah,
Of course, yeah, you mentioned that she is starting to come a little bit more into comp, but I don't think it's gonna be something that everyone's gonna be running personally.
yeah.
I
I
think it's
agree.
people giving it a try, seeing whether it could work, and obviously if it works and clutches up, don't get me wrong, I'm sure everyone will jump on the bandwagon. But
Yeah, I agree.
I think at the moment it's probably just trial and error. So I personally would put her down in D. I think.
Yeah, I would put on D as well.
Yeah, I think we leave her there for now. Next up, we got Revenant. Now, Rev.
Revenant is still either in high A or in S tier. His kit is one of the best kits in the game to push things.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not getting used in comp because in comp you like really need to play safe if you push, for example, and a Revenant is just a straight away in there and just killing that one guy and then maybe getting the knock or even getting killed by all three members.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still being used, for example, in solos just because of his Q
Yeah.
and him queuing away that far and his ult, especially giving him extra health and then getting it back if you knock somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely rate him really high this season as well as last season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, well, we had him in S last season, and I do still agree. There obviously has been some changes to upgrades and all that, but he's still such a good legend. And
Yeah.
the fact that, you know, when you do your ultimate and all that, all it resets, and oh man, he's just so broken.
Yeah.
Like, they do need to do a bit more changes to him because, like you mentioned, we don't see him in comp. So, you know, if we're not seeing him comp, but we're seeing him all over pubs and ranked and whatever, it just shows that he's obviously a very easy legend to abuse kills with. But with like obviously that sort of like, you know, sending it low risk, he's hardly going to die sort of thing. So I think yeah, I'd agree still S. Yeah, it's just too good. Next up we've got Seer.
I would definitely rate him higher than before, in my opinion, just because of the fact that his upgrades don't make him like he was on release. He was absolutely broken on release. But he, in my opinion, is a good legend again with his upgrades itself.
Yes, no, yeah, because a lot of people when they were seeing changes done to Seer, a lot of people were worried. They were like, "Oh God, Seer meta is going to come back. It's going to be all about Seer." Now it hasn't gone back that way, which we would all say fortunately.
A good legend.
But he is a good legend. He is a good legend. I'm not gonna knock it. You know, you can still say get a lot of love and, you know, a vision and knowledge with him. But of course, Bloodhound just does it so much better.
Yeah.
So
I just want to say the same.
Yeah.
Bloodhound is just way better than him at the moment. Like his heartbeat, yes, it's cool, but you just need to be like directly on him to actually see the enemy, and that sometimes is hard because, for example, if you're an MNK, you don't see that split second of that scan. You basically don't see him. So I would definitely put him in a C or D tier.
I would, yeah, I think a C. Yeah. I'm looking at C because I think if Bloodhound had more changes done to their blood, then I do think then, you know, C would maybe start creeping a bit more into meta again. But yeah, I just don't see that happening anytime soon, fortunately. Next up, we've got Valk. Now, Valk's had a lot of problems and bugs, but she's still a great legend. They are fixed now, though. Yes, they are fixed now, though. But yes, she's had a lot of issues. Not her fault, honestly. Not her fault as a legend, just the bloody game. But yeah, she's still a very, very good legend to be having, especially in comp.
Yeah, she's being used in comp more often now as well, especially with her upgrades of the flying higher and stuff, and just overall having more fuel as a passive as well.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like she is not that good of a legend in pubs. Ranked, in my opinion. Like she's just the current meta is just taking away her spotlight, in my opinion, which is quite sad because she's overall a really good legend to play with.
Yeah,
and especially a lot of fun. For example, if you know where you can get angles on building fights, like flying onto windows, getting some damage, and then flying up the roof again and stuff. So I would rate in a B tier, or a C tier.
No, I agree there, mate. I think B. Yeah, straight away. I just think, like I say, she's great for comp. I really think she is. I do, like I say, especially this season with the maps on available. I do obviously think, well, Broken Moon's obviously a more helpful one. World's Edge, you can get away without a Valk. KC, you definitely don't
Yeah.
need a Valk. So yeah, in that sort
I
of
agree.
aspect of things, it's not going to happen. But comp, she's still a good legend to be having. Next
Yeah,
up,
I
we
agree.
got Watson. Now,
Yeah, Watson still I think she's underrated,
mm-hmm,
especially in comp, especially not in comp, but just for pubs and ranked.
mm-hmm,
Because like her kit is pretty useful, especially with the more health or even two ult charges at the same time, which
yeah.
makes her pretty good as well. But I still feel like she's not that good of a legend to be played, sadly. So
So,
what would you say?
so I mean, I think she taking into like other things as well. Like, so she's very good at holding down a building. Um, the fact that we obviously with the ultimates, like we mentioned anyway, she can get arc stars and all that. That's obviously ideal. I like to
Yeah,
chuck in the well. She obviously has a lot smaller hitbox than someone like Caustic or Catalyst. So in those
yeah,
sort of maybe close fights in a building, she's going to be almost more beneficial for those 1v1s, which a lot of people, and she can also use those fences in disgusting ways that you can't do with a barrel or a spike. You can obviously trap it up on a door, catch people out. You can maybe potentially just lock down a building in disgusting ways with loads of fences left, right, and center. So I mean, she's still obviously getting used in comp as well, which is obviously nice to see.
yeah. I agree.
Um, but
I would put her in a B or A tier. Oh no, not A tier, not A tier. That she's not that good yet, but I would put her in a B or C tier.
I'm looking at B. I think Catalyst is obviously looking more like a better option now for holding down a
Yeah,
building than she was before, which I think does bring her down a little bit. Not a lot, just a little, but I think it would be a shame to put them all on the same tier.
yeah,
It's I think yeah, out of those ones, I would rather pick a Caustic or a Catalyst at the moment.
yeah.
Next up, we got Wraith. Now, with Wraith, I mean, it is a buff in a way. The fact that now that when she phases, she now gets like almost like a scan, which is kind
Yeah,
of cool.
I feel like as well. I feel like she's higher than before, and
Mm,
especially, just saying this right now, like people sleep on her other passive,
hmm
which is the voices that
Yeah.
she hears. People, enemy squads are nearby. It's
hmm
basically like a seer or even a bloodhound because she instantly tells you if there's a squad nearby, which makes you aware that
hmm
you need to be aware that
Yeah.
there's maybe people right next to you. You know what I
hmm
mean? And
hmm
that basically makes her a really good legend, which we as well see in comp, for example,
We do,
with
yeah.
I would say designful, but he's a wave main in that
Mhm.
aspect. So
But no, yeah, no, yeah. But I mean, Wraith is, I know, fantastic legend, really good for solos. We're obviously,
yeah,
being able to phase out and all that small hitbox. And like we mentioned there, yes, you do get to see her in comp, and of course as well, she is a very viable one as well in ranked. Ideal for aggression and things like that as well. With obviously get out of free jail card, phase out of it.
yeah,
And of course, yeah, like we said as well, now you've got that phase and vision as well. So you could be phasing into a situation, and of course, you can see exactly where they are.
yeah. Or you
So,
can phase out and see if they are chasing you.
hmm
If you've got that high sense to look back for a second.
exactly. So
I
I,
would put it in an A tier. If I'm honest
yeah,
with you.
yeah, I was looking at A or B. So I'll go with the A, and
Yeah,
I would say like an A or a B plus.
yeah.
Next up, we have Vantage. Now, I hate Vantage. I'm gonna put it out there right
Vantage
now.
Vantage is not a good legend right now. I feel like she's the upgrades don't make her that good as well. For
Yeah,
example,
I don't think she brings
sadly,
anything.
and her kit itself is not that perfect or is not good in that
No,
aspect. Like she's just a sniper legend overall, and snipers are not meta at the moment. They
not.
can be, but they're not, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I just think she's so chunky.
Yeah,
When she jumps, it's so slow. It's just she's very, very much a solo legend as well. Like, as in not like a
yeah,
solo player, but as in like in a team, she very much does her thing. She doesn't
yeah,
do something for the team. you could say, yeah, she can get ring consoles and that, but that's nah. I'm sorry. There's
It's
better
not,
legends.
it's not something that's helpful.
No, there's better legends for that. So
Yeah.
I'm saying F every day of the week.
Yeah.
That box needs to be filled, and she is filling it. And last but not least, the brand new legend, Alta. Now, Alta has been a lot of fun
I
this
think
season.
she is the better wave. I'm just saying. Like,
better
her
wave.
ult is insane for
Mhm.
pushing. It's insane. Like, of course, if you get knocked and not getting insta-killed, it's not good for you in general, but still.
No.
It's such a good escape or getting away tool itself.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely the better part. Like, I think her ult reach is especially further than Wave's portal. And then having the level 3 upgrade where her ult is infinitely up, that is just like broken because you can literally just push, wait for a third party, kill the third party, and then if there's a fourth party, then you can get out, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
And then her just like Q itself, like going through walls, going up things, up buildings, like for example in the roadside zipline building, you don't even need the zipline. You can just take a Q and then you up above the zipline and in phase so you can look around her and the enemies are highlighted as well,
Mhm.
which is absolutely broken in my opinion. So I would say S, like lower S tier, but she is an S tier legend at the moment.
That's a statement. That is. That's a fucking
What would you say,
statement.
Snake?
I don't think I've seen enough from her to validate an S personally.
Okay, yeah, it's the beginning of the season, but still.
That's what I mean. I think she's bloody fun legend, really fun. Yeah. And of course, I can see the aspect of things from, like, say, the ultimate is really bloody good. There's been so many times where I've been caught off a guard where I'm thinking, oh, we've got knocks, and then all of a sudden they're gone. Yeah, like, wait a second, where have they gone? Oh, fuck, they've gone through a bloody teleport. But of course, you got to obviously put another aspect of things. Teams can go through the portal. It's not like they can't. As well as if you are knocked and a guy's shooting at your knockdown, you can't obviously call out the portal, you know, because you've got to do it for 3 seconds, so you're pretty much fucked anyway. So it's not as quick an instant as it could be, which you know, could be disgusting. I think it is fair though, the fact that it's 3 seconds. I do. And it's quite obvious. It's quite obvious when someone's doing it as well, because they start glowing.
And it's leaving over a port, basically a rift in the dimension. It looks like every time, because it's looking like a broken mirror.
Yeah. So
I agree with you. Then I would say maybe A.
Yeah, I think A. I think, like I say, there's potential for her to change in that list, but for now, I just think, like I say, mad on the rotations with obviously being able to like go through the walls and bloody just catch people off guard that they've never done. Great for escapes and 1v1s and solos and things like that as well. But yeah, just need to see a little bit more from her. Potentially, if I start seeing her more in the comp scene and I start like going like, oh wow, this team are using her in a different light, like Lifeline, then I will probably then say, okay, actually, maybe she should be higher. But for now, I think A.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that is our tier list, Cryptic. Are you happy with it?
I'm happy. Definitely. But I would say we should maybe put the Alta above Wave, and then maybe Caustic, redirect them under Catalyst, I would say.
Oh, don't worry about that, mate. They're all on the same tier. It's fine.
Okay.
It's not in order like that, but yeah.
But I agree. I feel like this list is better.
This is a good list.
Yeah.
Amazing. Right, guys, thank you so much. If you made it to the end of the video, if you have, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll leave some link for Cryptic down in the comments down in the description down below. But yeah, that's been everything. Cryptic, any final words?
Please watch the video, like, comment, subscribe. Love you all, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.